right. I'm just tidying up a bit. I really wanted to do. I was going to sit and sew the strips up at you, but to be honest, I really thought that would probably be one of the most insanely boring things I could even humanly do. Because all you would really see is this picture of me while I mutter away and curse at stabbing myself. Because I can't do it on camera. I cannot place a camera so that you can see what I'm doing without it being, frankly, quite rude. Because, well, for it to be close enough to see what you want to see, you're kind of going to have to be staring down my cleavage because that's where I hold it. And I don't think Twitch would feel too highly of that, nor would YouTube for that matter. And it's not really a bit of me I feel you need to share. So I kind of gonna have to do that off stream. And I was thinking, well, we could prick a card and we could, prep the last strip and it's not that I'm not in the mood, because I'm totally in the mood. But it got me thinking as to, well, I haven't done that either. So what could I realistically do? And the answer is triangles. I know what I meant to do before stream and forgot because I'm stupid, which is I need to go into here and there and there and there, because that's just logical. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah. I then need to click there, hit save, hit export, export as, I'm pretty sure that was it. Exit in. Yeah, looks like it will be it. Right. So, let us move on to the pillow, and there you go. That represents where we're at. So, it is time. Ooh, I forgot to change the streaming for it, didn't I? Something else to have to do later then. Right. Now, these feel a little long, but only a little. This has just run out of juice, and now I need to find the, oh, for goodness sake, what did I just drop on the floor? I heard it land. I don't see it. Considering my floor is empty, you really would think I would see it. I heard it land. I don't know what it was, but I heard it. Oh, I know what it probably was. It was probably a ball bearing. That would be quite small. That could hide. And roll around and run away. Pretty sure actually that's what it was. So, let me up there like that. That's not what I want. So, the white one in there is not the one I need. Which, that might be it. Problem is they're, you know, being all white, they all look roughly the same. This is the one I need. Going to wind a bit of thread onto this bobbin for hopefully enough to get to the end. You know, that's kind of a thing. I mean, it won't be the only one. It's going to be small. I'd just forgotten that there were more, if you know what I mean. I'd forgotten that any of them were going to run out. It's been a while. It's been just over a month. But in that time, we have made quite a bit of strip. So I'm not feeling bad about the fact that it's been a month and that we haven't done any of this for a month, because we've done so much in the meantime. And hang on, yeah, it's like 5 weeks or something. So with that in mind, not upset with myself, really not. It's you know, it is one of those moments where you go, well, you know what? It's really not a problem. to move the table slightly. So let me do that. Right, and now I need to do that a bit. There we go. Now, stop rolling and being annoying. It's really hard to tell what goes where when you do that. Worst thing is I can see that it's quite an angle, but I can only seem to do that action on that axis. I can't do that, which is the angle I actually need it to be at. It's the only problem with this table, because it only tilts in one direction. It should be level, but of course it's not. Give me the pin. Got an itch. I don't know why. It's like that stray hair kind of itch where you can feel something, but it's not really anything, but it's quite irritating at the same time. So I don't know what it is. are you? Good. Just tired. Just tired. I feel like I've got kind of gut rot, but I don't know if I have. If that makes any sense. In that I'm not doing the 58 trips to the toilet. Hang on, that doesn't add up. Why does that not add up? Something's not added up there. Yeah, I feel like I've got dodgy guts, but at the same time I haven't, like, you know, had dodgy guts. I feel like I'm trying to have dodgy guts. But I am really tired. And I've already remembered why I hate. Yeah. And I'm also remembering why triangles were beginning to boil my piss. And a lot of it is because if you look at what I'm doing, I've got a hard blockade here and in that direction. So I can't really put anything on like the right half of the pillow. I mean, they can come round a bit, but I couldn't exactly put all of them on the right. And I can't really zoom them up because this section needs them. Whereas a section that was not much dissimilar in size to that, in one of the strips, probably had more bobbins. But the bobbins took up less room and fanned out in a parallel V shape from wherever it was. Whereas this kind of wants to be a fan shape. You know, there's room for it in that direction, but not in this direction. And so as a result, it's, you know, my pillow's full and I've got loads of that to come, because then there'll be the bit in the middle where instead of just making a pile on each side out the way and having 180 degrees of pillow, I can push these round to the back and I can push these round to the back, but there's a hard stop, so I can't put the threads that way. So then they come out kind of at 45 degrees, even if they don't, and it just gets crowded. be honest, lace making feels a bit like that to me at the moment. You know, I almost don't trust myself to pick up a thing and put it down, let alone in the right place. So this seems like the wrong hobby for the moment, you know? Um, and remember how I said I'd had like a little blister on my thumb? Well, I feel like I'm getting one on my big toe, and I can't explain it, but my toe feels like there's a blister on the bottom of it. Exactly. You know, stay up for 4 days, get absolutely wasted, and write some code and push it straight to production. I mean, it is that's pretty much. And that's kind of exactly what my brain feels like it's doing. Is it's you know, been up for an all weekend bender on some game, and consumed some alcohol, and now it wants me to code straight in live. You know, that's really how my brain's feeling. Well done for that. That is really nailing exactly how my brain feels. Um, there's certainly as much wiseness in it, that's for sure. But it's almost the every time I blink, I've got to try and force my eyes back open, and which is slightly, you know, undesirable, should we call it? Um, but these bobbins rolling are getting on my nerves. But yeah, I'm just absolutely shot at the moment. Um, feel like I should have got like 20 espressos and shoved them in my cup. Doesn't feel like 8 o'clock. Oh no. It's the one thing I hate about things like the knitting, in knitting using the long tail cast on and stuff. You just always seem to have like 16 feet too much or minus 10. There doesn't seem to be somewhere in the middle. And casting on with crochet, I don't know what it is about crochet chains, but we all seem to be... No, but it becomes the same kind of thing, doesn't it, right? Because it's not just a chain, you can't go, I need 3 times this or whatever, right? But I don't know what it is about crochet chains kind of starts. Unless you're doing magic loop, any flat edge start with crochet. Why do we not be able to count? Why is it that you can count it 5 times and end up with 6 different numbers? How? How is it possible? And even if you do the 10 put a marker in, 10 put a marker in, 10 put a marker in, you count up the markers, you count up at, the remainder stitches, and you still can't agree with yourself. It's a bit like me trying to work out how much thread I'm going to need for a bit of my lace stuff. The answer is more than none, less than all, and maybe I have enough, maybe I don't. I am staring at this. And to be honest, that really is... Well, to be honest, it is a fairly reliable manner. Because counting to 10 is usually within the brain's capacity. Because unless you're really slow, especially if it's just a chain, you can generally knock out 10 stitches quite quick. You then stick a stitch holder in it, knock out 10 stitches, stick a stitch holder in it, and you can kind of do that fairly quickly over a fairly short period of time, but then be fairly quick and able to count the difference. When you've got family involved, when you've got a pet involved, when you've got an unmissable opportunity involved, there's just no way. It's just not happening. Well, if it's consolation, I don't think I possess anything in this house that could make me feel awake right now. I mean, even if I was here and I wasn't streaming, I might have put the TV on, but I'd be sitting here with my eyes shut and I would disappear from the face of the earth for a bit. I would not be awake. I am so whacked. But I didn't really do anything stressful or anything. I mean, there were a couple of stupid questions. It's a day with a Y in it. But I'm just so tired. I don't think the British weather's helped because, as you well know, it's been ridiculously hot and it's cooled down again now. It's the best part of 10 odd degrees cooler, which is quite a lot. And I think my brain's just pickled. I think it cooked gently in its own juices, and now it is struggling to operate a vehicle, with a license. It's seriously, almost speaking is taking all my brain power. And it's a bit like having flu without the flu. It's that, you know, if you move your hand like this, you almost expect to see vapor trails. There's like so much lag in your head that, you know, you kind of go, you kind of watch, I don't know, a thing fall off a shelf, and your brain goes, ooh, pretty. Like, pick it up, clean it up, and your brain's going, pretty. You've turned into like a 2-year-old, and it's kind of like, hungry. Right, what do you want? Hungry. Now you need to be a bit more specific. Really hungry. These are the sort of conversations I'm having with myself today, and I am really struggling to do this. I didn't think it was going to be this hard. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would rather be doing strips. We do really need to finish this, so you know, I was kind of excited to see, you know, get back on with it and do a bit more of this and get a bit more finished, and then, you know, because the more we finish of this, the nearer the end and the sooner the beginning for the strips. And I'd rather be trapped in a room with a bowl of sprouts. Let me go wash my face. Hang on. Back again. Yeah. Washing did not really make much of a difference. Yes. Oh. Is there any chance you could stop destroying the couch, Amy? It dawned on me as I washed my face. Part of the reason I am so tired is because some certain individuals of the furry variety didn't settle down till 3 o'clock this morning. Might have been slightly after, because I don't have a clock in my room, so I can't just stare at the time, because, well, I really don't need that in my life. But they were literally bouncing and fighting and because it had cooled down. And I think that's actually what I'm battling, is the fact that I got like 3 hours sleep last night, and just in case it's not going to be apparent, I was woken up by being a battle zone, in that you can share any pictures you like with me, you know that. You can share pictures with me, always. What? How in the name of mercy did he do that with his feet? I assume that's a back foot. It's like he's got a spare. I mean, from the angle of his head, the two white paws to the right side of the photo look like front paws. But the two white paws, well, leg stroke paws, look like his front paws. And then there's like this spare brown one sticking out the back of his head. Now, I am very much of the opinion that the brown one and the top right one, sorry, the top white one, i.e. the leftmost white one, are his front legs, and the other one that I can see is a back leg. He looks a bit broken like that. I'm sorry if that's not what you meant me to be looking at, but he looks, it looks like an AI cat. Remember that video I had with the hands and the fingers? It's kind of giving me a bit of that. And I think that's the problem. My brain's going, error, bath, blue screen. Ah, silly kitty. Yeah, it looks like you've managed to plug a foot in the back of his head. Poor little soul. I mean, don't get me wrong, dogs do exactly the same kind of weird thing. They lie on an angle and you're trying to go, whose leg is that? Which leg is that? How did you get it there? You know? But at the same time, oh, bless him. I think the main problem is where he's looking. If he was looking left of the picture, it wouldn't faze you half as much. But the fact that he's looking down very kind of studiously, almost towards his what looked like to be front paws, with this extra sticking out the back, really doesn't help matters. It's a bit like the one with the dog who's looking at you, but technically he's facing the other way. So he's kind of locked his head over backwards and twisted it a bit. It's giving me a bit of those kind of vibes. As you say, it's an IKEA stroke AI cat, I think. I mean, if he had 12 tails and 16 ears, it wouldn't look much weirder. Oh, that poor little soul. We shouldn't laugh, but there are times you just kind of look at it and going, I mean, we've all seen the pictures on the internet which are deliberately taken at a certain angle to make suggestions of things or people that aren't really there. But well, Rory is the same if you want to trim one of his claws. You want to trim a Rory claw, that dog's got 58 billion teeth and 19 legs. Okay? And it's horrendous. Truly is. And the worst thing is I have never hurt him. But he is still utterly scared of it. And I don't think he'd had a nail trim before he got here. So I don't know quite what the problem is, but whatever it is, it really gives him the willies. Amy's not so bad. I'm not going to say she rushes up and enjoys it, but you don't have to, like, body slam her into the floor and hold her in some chokehold while you do, you know? But yeah, it is just... Much as we love our animals, there are times when your brain's just going, no, not now, not today. And I think the fact that I went to sleep being used as a trampoline and woke up being used as a trampoline, my brain's just kind of gone, you actually did that all night, didn't you? And you kept me mostly awake, but not enough that I actually remember being awake, but enough that I feel like death on a stick. And you get to laugh at me in a bit because, well, I can't take the rest of the day off and go somewhere interesting and do all of those kind of things. So, yeah, I am absolutely crackered. Well, that's what I tried to do with these two. I tried really hard to do that. And obviously, for the most part, I succeeded with Amy. I did not succeed with Rory. If anything, he's worse. Because, you know, with Amy, you know, I can hold her, and, you know, like put a finger or two through her collar and trim her fur, and she's all happy. If I did that with Rory awake, I would lose limbs. It is quite difficult. So yeah, I think we're going to get to the end of this very measly triangle, and I'm going to go for a nap because I literally every time I blink, I almost have to yank my eyes open. I am really struggling. We shall try. We shall try our best, though. It's not a hobby you can shut your eyes and do either. I haven't been this tired for ages. I mean, to be honest, I've been less tired after spending an entire weekend playing a game. So hence, I do wonder if I'm trying to have something lurgy-wise, but it's not overly clear, and that all the symptoms I've got are the maybe my guts feel a bit dodgy and I'm really tired. Yeah, go and have a sleep. Go and hug the kitty cat. You know, do what's right. Do a good thing. So yes, I'm going to apologise profusely, in that I am absolutely hanging. As I say, each time I blink, it feels like I'm having to force my eyelids open. So I have never been this tired for a really, really, really long time. So I hope you'll forgive me. And well, we did some of a triangle. It started. Really would have liked to have done a whole chunk more than that, but it is what it is. It's not like we didn't try. Just disappointed in myself because, you know, when I logged off my work laptop tonight, I was kind of like, yeah, going to do some streaming tonight. Yeah, yeah. And almost as time went on, my brain got further away from it. And I don't think it's anything's fault either. It's just how it's ended up today. So, as I say, I hope you forgive me. Because, you know, as you will probably know if you've watched enough of my streams, I won't say I'm a moody cow, but, well, I'm kind of a moody cow. I do have many times when I struggle to feel enthusiastic. Even though I am enthusiastic, I really do want to see how this is going to turn out. I really do. But at the same time, it's falling into the gardening thing of, I want to have a nice garden, but I don't want to be the one spending time doing it. And, well, this is part of the reason, of course, that we are converting from triangles to strips, because the strips are so much easier to work on. But you see my fan going in the background with the fabric moving. So yes, please forgive me. And being Wednesday, I shall be back tomorrow. Really ought to go and do my bins, but I'm too tired for that too. So thank you for coming. Love to you always. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.